Cheryl, you went to a nice school.
Cheryl had a scholarship to the best high school in Manhattan.
That must have been a trip.
It was alright. Classes were amazing.
But didn't you feel out of place?
Why?
It just seems like it would be a difficult transition.
From what? I went to grade school. School is school.
If I had to invest in one talent currently on the Broadway stage, I'd probably dump all my savings into the career of today's guests. She won great acclaim starring in Ruined a few seasons back, and now she's starring in Stick Fly, the new drama at the Court Theater. Please welcome Condola Rashad.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great.
We've never met before, but welcome.
Thank you.
You're here because I went and saw Stick Fly, and you're incredible.
Wow,
you're incredible
thank
on stage.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
But let's start, first of all, yesterday was your birthday.
It was my birthday.
So happy birthday.
Thank you.
You are 25.
25.
Quarter of a century.
Believe that. Oh my God. That's crazy.
So how'd you celebrate?
Well, it's funny because I was actually saying, like normally one would say like, oh my God, I have to work on my birthday. That sucks, but it's so funny because I had 2 shows yesterday and I started to look at it and I was like, wait a minute, that actually is a birthday present. Like the fact that I get to do this show twice and I'm on Broadway and I'm 25, like that's a present. So I worked, and then a couple of castmates, we hung out a little bit afterward, but we have a show today, so we, took it kind of easy. Yeah.
Took it all under control.
It was the best birthday ever though.
So you're starring in Stick Fly. Mm-hmm. You got great reviews.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How's it going? Are you having a good time?
It's great. I mean, it's really a blessing to have such a great cast, to be working with such a great cast, such a wonderful writer and a brilliant director, and the cast just, we're a family from day one. Like we all walked in and I could tell, I was like, okay, we're good. Because sometimes you don't get that lucky, and sometimes cast members clash, and this has just been a dream come true. It's been a lot of hard work, but it's paying off, so it's good. Everything's gone well.
It's exciting to have a new African-American playwright voice on Broadway.
Yeah, uh-huh.
So when you read the play, which is obviously a very modern play, set in Cape Cod, what about this family that has a lot going on, a lot involving your character, which we won't reveal because you have to go see it. But what was your reaction to it? What jumped off the page for you?
The one thing that I really love about this play is that I feel like it features a side of African American culture that we don't often get to see,
Right.
And I think it's important because it exists. It's not something that we often see in film or in theater, and so just to hear those voices I think is very, very necessary, because I feel that a lot of the stories that are portrayed about African Americans can be a little limited.
Yeah.
So it's just great to be a part of something that's like a new side of the culture.
So it's a very well-to-do family.
Yeah, it's a well-to-do family.
You are Cheryl.
I'm Cheryl.
So let's talk a little bit about Cheryl and sort of how she fits in.
Yeah, Cheryl, basically this well-to-do, upper-class African-American family, they have a house in Martha's Vineyard, which they're coming to in the summer, and they have a maid, Miss Ellie. And this summer, Miss Ellie, for reasons that if you can see it, you'll know, but she's not able to come this summer, and so she sends her daughter, Cheryl, to work for her, which is interesting because, Cheryl grew up in the house, but she was never the maid. Her mother was, and she actually probably was sitting at the dinner table and playing with the sons and, just kind of being a little baby around the house. To go from that to now going to a place where she has to know where everything is, and she's, serving the family, and all of a sudden realizing that there is a difference, whereas before she might not have really thought about it that way. It's tricky for her.
And it's a very dramatic journey for you.
Yeah.
And I know that you were in Ruined, which is also a very, very, very dramatic play. Do you like all that?
Well, what's really funny, even from Ruined, when I realized that, when I was told that I got the part in Ruined, I was like super excited, and then I went through it again. And I was like, wait, so what, I have to do what? Like, I honestly, like, in theater school, there's always that one actor in the class that can just like cry at the drop of a hat, like just the most emotional person ever. That's not me. Like, I do comedy, that's what I do, and so that's what I've always done.
Yeah.
So actually, these very dramatic roles is it's a challenge for me, and it's rewarding because it's something that I didn't really think that I could do. I never really thought that I could do it, just because I don't know myself in that, or I hadn't known myself in that respect to be the type of actor that can really get into that deep emotional well.
Right.
So I surprised myself, and it's good. It's a good feeling. But I like the thing about Stick Fly that's great is I get to play with comedy too.
Yeah.
So it's like a perfect
Yeah.
mix of all of them.
But that's not Condola that your friends see when you're hanging out, and you're more of a...
No, it's just, in fact, it's so funny because my friends come and they're like, Condola, you really went in. And I was like, I know. So yeah, no. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to ask you, do you know about, there's a Tumblr site called Claire Huxtable Mom Style Icon.
No.
Look it up.
Oh my God, I've never even heard of
Somebody
that.
here in the office found it, and it is incredible. Now, it is all these pictures of Claire Huxtable, aka your mom,
Right,
Alicia Rashad,
okay.
and it's all about her fashion, and like it's genius.
That's awesome.
Genius
No, I have
photos.
never
Yeah.
heard of that. I will be sure to check
you
that
need
out.
to check it out.
I will.
So what is it like to grow up the daughter of Claire Huxtable? Although you didn't grow up the daughter of Claire Huxtable, but
Well, you know, my mother, she's a very down-to-earth
Yeah.
person, and it also reflects in the way that she raises her children. Like you know, as a child, I definitely thought it was cool that mom was doing what she was doing, but I also respected it as that's what her job was, to provide for us. You know, so it's hard to say how it was, only because it's like, well, I think it's similar to how anybody feels about their mother. You know, if you don't know anything different, then you can't really compare it. So, I mean, it was great. I really love and respect and appreciate my mother because I probably would not be the actor that I am today without her. And I don't mean in terms of the situations that I get into. I mean more in terms of the actual, the craft itself. I mean, my mother, since I was a little girl, she brought me everywhere. She brought me to rehearsals. I was backstage, I was at the studio, wherever she was, I was. As a kid, I was able to sit there and watch from day one, literally, I watch my mother take a character from a page and watch her create from that page this
Right.
whole spectrum of emotions, of all these.
Yeah.
I watched her create all of these things, and so that's the part of it that I really fell in love with, the process.
and she said in interviews that it was like when you were like 4 years old, you decided you wanted to be an actress.
Yeah. No, I decided I wanted to be an actress when I was watching her do something, and I was like, that was really interesting, but I feel like I could do that differently, and maybe have done a different choice. So.
Do you remember what it was that she was doing?
No, I think it might have been Blues she did a show actually with Kenny Leon called Blues for an Alabama Sky in Atlanta at the Alliance Theater. I'm pretty sure it was that. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your mom has turned into an incredible stage actress. I mean, it's been so. I remember I actually saw her in Into the Woods when I was a kid,
Right.
and that was sort of like one of her first big starring roles. I mean, I know she did Dreamgirls, which
Right.
was sort of like I always remember hearing that she was in Dreamgirls, but. These shows, I mean, one great role after the next. Were there any that were for you, that you really remember that really sort of like inspired you or molded you, or?
There's a show called Blue that she did.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
Love Blue.
With Mike
I just-
McElroy.
Yes,
that
it
was
was
amazing.
my favorite ever. But that one in particular, for some reason, that play just really sticks out to me. I just loved that play.
Yeah.
You know, but my mother, you know, she's a funny lady. Every character she does, she kind of brings home a little bit of the character every time. So like we have a thing where, you know, she acts kind of funny. My sister will be like, what role is she playing? Because she's really off the chain right now. And it's like, so yeah, it's kind of funny to see her do that. Except for when she played Medea. We didn't want that character to come home.
Medea, stay there.
Yeah, I was like, don't bring that home. Thanks. Please and thanks.
And we should also say Debbie Allen is your aunt.
Yes.
And Vivian Nixon is
Yep.
your cousin. And we loved her in, Hot Feet. And she was
Cousin
in
Viv.
Memphis. And
She is
amazing dancer.
like
amazing.
the best dancer ever. She amazes me.
What about you? Can you kick your legs up like Vivian?
I can keep my legs up, but not that high. No, she is the dancer, truly, and always has been since we were kids. I mean, it's just in her.
Yeah.
It's like amazing to watch.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
So you were like, let's say 4 years old, and you had this in your head.
I had it in my head, but you know, I didn't. My mother, and I really appreciate this. My mother, I told her that I wanted to be an actor, and she was supportive of it, but she also wanted to make sure as a kid that I had other experiences.
Yeah.
Like she didn't want me to just get into this too early. So she was very adamant about me. You know, I was on the soccer team, I was like doing other things. But really, what my first passion was that I got into was music. I trained classically in piano for 10 years. Wow. That's what I really did. And that's kind of still what I really do. It's funny, you know, acting is a thing that I love and I have such great respect for, and I love doing it, but there's a part of me that's always, I think, really just a musician. That's kind of the place that I work from.
Wow.
And I picked up guitar in college, and so right now I'm working on a compilation of my original songs right now.
Oh yeah. So
So
your aim is to like release an album, and
Oh yeah,
Alicia
definitely.
Keys can produce a few songs.
Definitely. No, it's great. But
I did find, because immediately I thought, because I can't help it, I love musicals. So I saw you and I said, can she do a musical? Can she do a musical? And I went on YouTube, and there you are. You're singing on YouTube.
oh yeah, at the
You have an amazing afro
Yeah.
with Daniel Breaker.
Yeah.
And you're singing Baby It's Cold Outside.
Yes.
And then there's a clip of you singing Really Got a Hold on Me.
Oh yeah.
And you can sing.
Thanks.
This is perfect.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
can do everything.
I love singing. Singing is a whole other thing.
So you're picturing like what kind of music, what kind of album?
Well, interestingly enough, it's kind of a mix of things, but it's, how do I explain? It's kind of a soul rock electronic vibe that
Cool.
I'm working on right now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I love rock music, and I think that there are certain things that I hear in my head that I actually don't hear in rock music that I want to like add to. And there's also some soul influences and electronic I love too. So it's like, I think once it's all put together, that will kind of be that's 3 genres, but it'll kind of be in there somewhere.
So do you think you could ever see yourself doing a Broadway musical, or is that not cool
Oh,
enough?
totally.
Yeah.
But like, for example, I was so mad because I was in school at this time that this musical was produced, but Passing Strange.
I was just about to say,
I would have
Passing
totally
Strange.
rocked Passing Strange. And don't get me wrong, the actors in that were amazing. They
Yeah.
were totally right for it. But I just feel like if I had been out of school, I would have had my heart set on that one.
Stu's doing a new show. You got to hook up with Stu.
What show is he doing?
He's
He
doing
is?
a new show at the public, like a workshop
Stop,
of it.
I
or
didn't
so-
know that.
Okay, well we'll get you the information.
Okay.
We'll get you the
I
information.
love Stu. Stu actually I was aware of Stu because Stu did my first year of college, he did a workshop at my college.
Oh, cool.
And it was amazing. It was called Fiction, and it was like really awesome.
So you want to do a cool modern
Yeah.
musical?
Yeah, yeah.
So I can't fantasize about you doing like The Wiz or
No.
something. What
But
about?
it was awesome. Don't get me wrong, but no.
How about like? So you're not gonna be Dina and Dreamgirls? Nothing.
Nope. It's got to be something weird and quirky.
Okay, so maybe you can write your own show.
Working on that with my best friend Kyle Beltran,
you really?
who is also an amazing actor. He was he was in The Heights after.
Oh yeah, of
Kyle Bel-
course. So you two are gonna write a musical.
Yeah.
You're gonna change Broadway.
Yeah.
Again, let's change Broadway.
We're
Shake
gonna
it
take
up.
it by storm. Yes.
Are you gonna write roles for yourself?
I don't know. We kind of just have this concept, which I won't get into yet because I want him to be with me when we actually start to do it. But we just have this concept for it, and we're kind of just gonna roll with it and see. I mean, I don't even know what it is to write a musical. Like my
Right.
brain would probably more work in developing the storyline than the actual
Right.
music for it. So we're gonna need some collaborators, but we have a pretty cool idea for it that hasn't really been done yet. So
Okay, you're not gonna tell me tonight. We'll have to wait for that information.
yeah, exactly.
And Alicia Keys can put all her money into it.
It
It's all done. We got the
works.
whole thing.
Everything is just lining up in place.
We are good to go with the musical. And your dad is Ahmad Rashad,
Yes.
who football player, but I grew up watching him broadcasting sports. Didn't he propose to your mom on camera?
He did.
Is that have you seen?
I
is
have
that,
seen it. It's like
is that
really
weird?
violent. It's weird, but I also like, Dad, you were brave to do that. It's like, what if she said no? Like, it was crazy, but it's very romantic. So
So what does Dad think of this whole Broadway thing?
he's over the moon.
Yeah.
He loved the show. He came on opening night, and he just is proud dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you obviously have a lot going on. You did a pilot recently.
Yeah, I did a
and-
pilot. It was just really fun to work on. I don't think it got picked up, but it was just so much fun to work on because that side is new to me. Television is new to me, so that was really kind of fun and exciting to work on that.
And you're gonna be on Smash.
Yes,
Everybody's on Smash.
everyone's on Smash, including Vivian, my cousin.
Oh, is she in it too? Is she dancing?
She's dancing.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
And who do you play on Smash? Is it a secret? Are you gonna play? Are you gonna end up playing Marilyn Monroe in the musical?
Yeah,
or-
right. No, I play a character named Sin, who is one of the girlfriends of one of the main characters.
Oh.
So we'll see what happens with that.
Awesome. So do you like doing the on-camera stuff?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. The one thing that I'm just adjusting to is because I really do come from theater, and so
Yeah.
the one thing that I miss sometimes when I do television, not so much film, because film is like you're working on one product, but with television, if you let it, it can get a little bit like, you know, there's a different director for episodes, and then some people are on different pages sometimes, you know, so it can be a little bit like, where's the cast? Like, we're not doing a table read every day, you know what I mean? So I'm used to that, like, the cast is together all the time and growing up. That's what I'm used to. So it's just an adjustment. I mean, it's just as fun and it's just as challenging. It's just a little bit of an adjustment. Also, you're doing like something really dramatic and there's like someone in the sight line eating a hot dog or something. It's like, you know, it can get a little bit like that. You're like,
distracting.
wait. Yeah. So.
Your Aunt Debbie obviously was on Fame, which is such an iconic, especially for fans of Broadway. You know, it's such an iconic role. Did she ever give you a dance class?
Yeah, my aunt has she has a dance academy out in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And when she first opened it, there was a summer intensive, and I did it for 3 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was so much fun. That's actually how I got into flamenco. Flamenco's that's the dance form that I do. My cousin does everything else, and the one that I do is flamenco.
Wow, cool. Maybe your musical will have a little flamenco in it. See?
Wow, I did not even think about that until just now.
Throw that in there. Call Kyle right after this.
Yeah, right. Totally.
So, is it weird to have people have these sort of like preconceived notions about all these members of your family? Is it weird to come from a famous family? I mean, you know, people feel like they know Debbie Allen. They feel like they know your mom. They don't. They don't.
No.
You know. So what is that like? What's that like going through life?
You know, it's kind of what it is. It doesn't bother me. I don't feel. I don't really feel any different. I just feel that's just what it is. You know what I mean?
Reality.
Yeah, it's just a reality, and you know, I appreciate that so many people admire my mom because I admire my mom. So it's cool. You know, that's all good. Growing up, there were times where it might have been a little bit more difficult because people might assume that, you know, that I'm going to get a lot farther just because of my parentage, which actually isn't true.
Right.
In fact, in some ways, I have to work a little harder.
Yeah.
I'm very proud to be my mother's child, but I also I have my own thing, and my mother respects that too. So it's important. Like Ruined, it was such a great experience because the thing that I loved about Ruined is I got that right when I graduated, and the casting director and everybody else in the room, they didn't actually know who my mother was until after they gave me the role.
Great.
And that was a really like validating thing for me because that's very important to me. I believe that my mom is super successful because she made it on her own, and so it's important for me to do the same thing.
So are you going to check out the Claire Huxtable
totally done
Tumblr?
and done.
You're
and
subscribe
done. When I get
to
back
it?
to the theater
You're
today,
going to subscribe to it maybe?
Yeah.
There's some really good stills of your mom.
Okay.
A lot of good fashion.
Cool.
Some good 1980s fashion tips.
Nice.
I highly recommend it to everyone. And I highly recommend Stick Fly. And
Thank you.
Condola, you are incredible in Stick
Thank
Fly.
you. Thank you.
And it's a great play, and it's a great juicy drama. You just get wrapped up in it. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank
It's such
you
a
for
pleasure to
having
meet
me.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.